On September 10th, Kamala Harris thrashed Donald Trump on the debate stage. As a result, she's leading in the most recent polls. But, as we're just less than 2 months away from polling day, will she be able to maintain the lead? Will the first ever debate between Harris and Trump be a turning point? Let's understand. But first, some history. Debates have been a key part of U.S. elections for decades, but their real influence on voter decisions is yet to be seen. From the Kennedy-Nixon face-off in 1960 to more recent clashes, debates can either boost a candidate or not do much. Debates are a relatively new part of the campaign cycle, starting in 1960. That year, 90% of American homes had TVs, and new laws made it easier to air live political discussions. 4 debates were held between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon in network studios without an audience. Those debates pulled in the largest TV audiences ever at the time. They were highly persuasive. More than half of the 1960 voters said the debates influenced their vote. Fast forward to 2020, when Trump and Biden faced off twice. Before the first debate, polls showed that 87% of voters didn't expect their opinions to change, and they were right. Biden was polling at 50.1%, Trump at 43.2%. Afterward, the numbers barely changed. Biden rose slightly to 50.5%, while Trump dropped to 42.9%. Does this mean debates don't matter? Not necessarily. Sometimes they can have a bigger impact. Barack Obama's 2008 debate with John McCain is a good example. Before their first debate, both candidates were neck and neck, Obama at 46%, McCain at 44%. But just days after, Obama surged to 49%, and McCain dropped to 42%. It was a decisive moment, but debates like that are rare. Even if a candidate wins a debate, that doesn't mean they'll win the election. Take Hillary Clinton's 2016 debates with Donald Trump. These are hard to separate from other events, like the Access Hollywood tape, which dominated headlines. Clinton was seen as the winner of all 3 debates by a margin of 5 to 40 points. But did that win translate to votes? We all know who won the 2016 elections. For many, debates don't change minds because voters have already made up their decision. But for undecided voters, debates can help shape perceptions, especially when a candidate is less known. Debates are great for framing campaigns, giving journalists a narrative, and offering voters the illusion of a verdict through intellectual combat. But in reality, the impact is often far less dramatic than we think. So what about 2024? The first debate of the year saw Biden trailing Trump before the June 27th showdown. Afterwards, Trump gained 2 points, but the race changed when Biden stepped aside and Harris became the Democratic nominee. With the September 10th debate, the question is, where do Harris and Trump stand now? Harris's strong debate performance greatly boosted her campaign, especially among Democrats who doubted her. Compared to Trump's erratic responses, her composure and sharp delivery made her look like a real contender. Trump's performance? It might be a turning point. His shaky showing raised questions about his focus and readiness for the final stretch. While conservative media tried to do damage control, his failure to hit key points on the economy and immigration has some Republicans worried. Is he losing steam in swing states? The debate's impact now hinges on public perception. Harris gained momentum with younger voters, thanks to endorsements like Taylor Swift's. Trump's base, still loyal, but if he keeps losing focus, he might blow his shot at winning over undecided voters. But what about the post-debate polls? After the debate, Kamala Harris regained a key polling lead over Donald Trump. The latest polling tracker shows Harris with a small lead since the debate, a shift from earlier in the week when they were nearly tied. Some polls indicate Harris has a larger lead than the 0.9% advantage. A Reuters Ipsos poll, the first conducted since the debate, puts Harris ahead by 5 points, 47 to 42%, up from a 1-point lead recorded after the Democratic National Convention. Similarly, a Morning Consult survey showed Harris leading 50 to 45%, an increase from her previous 3 to 4-point advantage. Additional polls by YouGov and Leisure give Harris a 4 and 3-point lead respectively. Post-debate polls suggest a more favorable outlook for Harris than those before the debate, which showed her popularity surge after replacing Joe Biden had stalled. A Data for Progress survey conducted from September 11th to 12 shows Kamala Harris leading Donald Trump by 4 points nationwide, with 50% support for Harris and 46% for Trump. Similarly, RMG research found Harris ahead by the same margin, 51% to Trump's 47%. However, the story changes in swing states. In North Carolina, a key battleground, a Trafalgar Group survey from September 10th to 11 shows Trump narrowly leading Harris, 48% to 46%. Another Qantas Polls and News survey also puts Trump ahead by 2 points, 49% to 47%. Michigan is another hotly contested state. An Insider Advantage poll from September 10th to 11 has Trump leading by just 1 point, with 49% support compared to Harris's 48%. In Missouri, Trump holds a more comfortable lead. A GQR survey conducted from September 5 to 11 found Trump ahead by 11 points, with 55% support to Harris's 44%. In Alaska, the Alaska Survey research poll from September 10th to 11 shows Trump with a 5-point lead, 47% to 42%. Harris is performing better in traditionally blue or competitive states. In New Hampshire, a recent St. Anselm poll from September 10th to 11 shows Harris leading by 8 points, with 51% support compared to Trump's 43%. The debate seems to have triggered this shift. Harris was seen as calm and controlled, while Trump frequently veered off topic. Despite declining Harris's challenge for a second debate, Trump claims he won the debate, but surveys show otherwise. The Reuters Ipsos poll revealed 53% believed Harris won, compared to 24% for Trump. Morning Consult showed a similar margin of 55 to 25% in favor of Harris. Despite the debate being 8 weeks before Election Day, polling margins are thin in key states, suggesting Trump's miscues could have a significant impact. Only about 5% of voters are undecided, mostly in 7 key states. One unexpected factor favoring Harris could be Taylor Swift's endorsement after the debate. Her support prompted about 400,000 people to visit a voter registration link she shared, potentially mobilizing the 18-29 demographic, where Harris currently holds a 15% lead over Trump. CNN's survey highlighted a trend toward Republican registration among young voters in battleground states. In Pennsylvania and North Carolina, the GOP has significantly closed the gap. Harris now hopes Swift's influence can boost youth turnout in her favor. With the election just weeks away, this debate could be a key moment. Will Harris keep pressing her advantage, or can Trump fix the damage and shift the narrative? Remember that the 2024 Harris-Trump debate won't change the game as much as some might think. Sure, Harris might have looked more polished, and Trump's performance raised eyebrows. But here's the hard truth. Debates just don't matter as much as we want them to. Studies have shown that they barely affect voter decisions for decades. Most people already know who they're voting for, and a flashy debate performance doesn't change that. Trump's base will stick by him no matter what. And while Harris may win some undecided voters, don't expect a landslide shift. At best, debates provide a momentary buzz, but they rarely reshape an election.